Perfect. Finally online. It's taking me a while. I don't know what was the holdup, but I'm here. I'm going to edit this image of Savannah. This is the last one of the series. Kind of doing a series here. No music today, but I am listening to music on my headphones. Unfortunately, due to copyright, I can't have you listen to the music that I'm currently listening to, but you can put your own music on in the meantime. I'll get my music back on at some point. I had it playing last time on the other live I did. So I'm just removing the softbox. Easy, just to get that out of the way. I'll usually leave it when I know for sure that the sky is an easy sky to remove it, you know, because it all looks similar. But if it was more of a complex background, I wouldn't be doing that. So that makes it easier. Reply to you on Instagram. I haven't checked my messages on Instagram in a while because sometimes I get overwhelmed. I get a lot of messages. But I'll definitely check. What's your name on Instagram so I can check it out? Or what was your question? Can you just ask it here since I'm already like kind of answering questions here? What's your question? I think that'll be easier. Okay. And what else? Hi guys, what's up? Hey, what's up, Vicente? How's it going, man? Good morning. Once again, guys, if you have questions, now's the time to ask because I know I get a lot of questions on like Instagram and stuff, and it's hard for me to keep up with everything. So that's why another reason why I do these live edits. It gives you an opportunity to see me edit, but also to ask me questions. So if you have any questions or anything like that, now is the time to ask. What is todo el pedo? Tried researching, but no luck. It just basically means the whole shebang. I think in my latest video, it just means I'm just going to cover the whole thing. That's all it basically means. Is it possible to get my actions? Yes, you can purchase them. It's listed in my description on all my videos if you want to purchase them, or you can just make them yourself. It's really up to you. How to remove stray hairs from the face? Well, I'll do that right now. I'm using. I would say the best route would be frequency separation. Well, at least for me. Of course, you can use the healing brush as well in a new layer. It's really what works for you. But I'll get into that right now. I'm just removing the blemishes right now. This was towards the end of the shoot, so usually towards the end of the shoot, this is when the makeup kind of falls apart and stuff. So that's why you're seeing more blemishes than usual. I generally do it through frequency separation. A better way to do it. Um, Not that I know of. There definitely could be. If anybody else is watching that has maybe suggestions on maybe what they do, I would love to hear some feedback. Anybody use something else for stray hairs from the face? All right, enough of this little pen. Pen sucks. There we go. I'm just gonna use my mouse. Is it possible to get your tool set up in an easy way? Not that I know of. What do you mean by tool setup, ma'am? Could you be a little bit more specific on that, man? I am gonna leave this hair there. It doesn't bother me. It kind of goes with the flow of the hair, so we're just gonna leave it. And some of these flyaways we're gonna keep also. We're not gonna make the hair super perfect. I'm gonna leave. I might just leave them all. I don't think I even, because you can barely even notice them anyways. But you know what? Let me see what this one looks like. Because this one, because it's a brighter, my eyes are going there a little bit, so I might just see what it looks like without it. How to improve color grading. So to improve your color grading, that's a great question, man. I'm trying to figure out if there's a resource. I would follow some good photographers and just to get a general idea of what they're doing. My friend Marco always does a good job. So if you're not following him, Marco Gilpas. Stills and colors, really good. Suhail Photos on Instagram is also really good. He has a lot of good educational content on his Instagram. So I would check out those photographers. Stills and color. Marco Gilpas. And Suhail Photos. What camera lens? I used the A7 III, and if I'm not mistaken, I should have used the Sigma 35. Because there's no way I would have got this with a 50 lens. It would have been too compressed. So Sony A7 III with the Sigma 35 millimeter. How much makeup plays in a row in awesome color or texture portraits? We get professional looking portraits with that. So what I typically will tell the models is to do natural makeup. Unless that's the concept to have this high-end makeup, but more often than not, because we recently did a photo shoot, me and my friend Marco, we did a photo shoot with our friend Ruth, and she went all out with the makeup. She went to a makeup artist. So that was the only key difference. Most of the time, it's just simple makeup. It's you sometime. You sometime. I'm using sRGB as my color space. What is the difference retouching using correction tools and low frequency? Correction tool and low frequency. So the low frequency, I don't even remember what the low frequency layer is anymore because I already labeled my stuff over here. Basically, the texture layer just manipulates texture. The color layer manipulates color. Separate the two, bam. I'm not sure if you were meaning with frequency separation. But yeah, I don't remember what low and high is anymore because I just make my own action. And it's two sometimes, two sometimes. Okay, it's looking good so far. Between, what's the difference using? I'm not sure what you mean, man. Sorry. But I'm gonna get into dodge and burn now. I don't have to do too much of this image. I've already edited an image that's very similar to this. So I'm just gonna copy the color grade. Really the only time that it's gonna take a lot of time is just the dodge and burn process. But since it's a wide shot, or not a wide shot, but it's a full body shot, really I'm not gonna have to do a lot because a lot of the details you're not really gonna see. So that's what's cool. And I'm doing this as a 3-part series. Let me open up the other images so you can see the series. I'm probably gonna try to post today. If I have a chance, I'm gonna try my best to get it today, but let's take a look at the other ones. You guys can let me know which one should be my lead when I post on Instagram. Any suggestions on a monitor? Well, I use the BenQ monitor and I love it. It's like a 27-inch. If you look in the description of my YouTube videos, you'll see that I have that little monitor there. But yeah, these are the other images. We got this one, we got this one, and then we have this one, the one that I'm doing now. So I'll try to decide which one I'm gonna edit. Oh, the tool setup. Yeah, so the tools here, I sell these actions if you want to buy them. I think it's like 20 bucks, not even that much money. Um, and it's in the description on most of my videos. You'll see there it says Photoshop actions for purchase and stuff. So if you want them, you can buy them. You can always make them yourself too. It's really up to you. the voice is very low. So let me go in here. Voice is very low. So let's go in. Let's see. I think it's in here. Let's boost up that gain. Let's put it like at 4 or 5. There we go. That should fix that problem. Is that better? Let me know. Is it color theory more important than color grade and image? I think they're both important. That's a great question. I will tell you this much though, don't overthink it. I'll admit I was overthinking it for a brief time. And sometimes you just have to go with what your brain tells you. Hey, this looks good. And you just kind of go from there. There was a time where like I was just kind of getting carried away and overthinking it, that I had to come up with this like epic color grade following the color theory and all that stuff. And sometimes you just make a better color grade when you're not worried about it and you're just kind of having fun with it. So there's different approaches. I approach each image differently. But that's a fantastic question. Adobe color themes, I have it. I think I have it over here. Really, you can just use it to kind of figure out where you want to go with your color grade and stuff. It's really going to be up to you, man. I'm not an expert with it, so I guess if you want to learn, I'm sure there's probably some YouTube content that you can check out. Okay, let me see what we got so far. Oh yeah, it's nice. It's looking good. Didn't like overdo it. Looks nice. Real simple, subtle. Okay, cool beans. How's it going, guys? Let's reset this. Let's kind of go into the stomach area. I'm not going to dodge and burn a lot here, but I do want to like kind of just even these out just a little bit. How much time do I invest? Maybe about an hour. It's not that the process takes long. No, let me rephrase that. It's not that the technique takes long, it's the process. Like sometimes I just want to see what different color grades look good. I want to see what it looks like this. And so I'm just experimenting, I'm just having fun with it. And yeah, so that's why sometimes it'll take me a little bit longer than usual. It's just all the experimental phase, have fun. Okay, so let me take a look at what I did over here. I'm gonna kind of remember what I did. Dodge and burn, then I have the global. So let's kind of come back over here. I'm gonna add a dodge, then I'm gonna add a burn, another one. I'm gonna name this with the G. Perfect. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting a reference on where I should be doing the global. So I'm just gonna make a reference here using the threshold. And And right here, this part would be brighter as well. This little part, that part, I probably won't do it, but that's just a reference. So what this basically means is I'm gonna get my brush now, put it like let's put it like at 5. And I'm gonna purposely make it brighter here. So we'll do like 1 big dab, 2 big dabs, transition. We'll come into the nose and we'll do a couple of swipes here. This one, it's already bright, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna brighten it up a little bit there. And I'm gonna brighten it here. I'm gonna bring this threshold up more. And it looks like it needs to curve a little bit. So I'm gonna come back here. And I kind of already did that. So we're gonna kind of curve it just a little bit, just like that. Okay, so let me take this reference off. And let's take a look at the before and after. So it's just a subtle effect, but just making that contour pop. So, or the areas that were bright will kind of pop a little bit more. Can you tell me where to find your actions? The actions are in my description on every single video. My voice is very low. I thought I increased the volume already. Might be because it's the morning, but let me increase it some more then. If it's still low, his voice is okay. Let me just bring it up a little bit more. There you go. And that'll be the last time I bring it up. Okay, so let's see here. So we have the dodge, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start doing a little bit of the lips. So I can, right here, I can tell that it's a little bit bright, so I'm gonna increase that a little bit more. So I'm gonna come here. And I'm just gonna make that just a little bit brighter, and then I'm gonna get my burn. And burn that so that and let me burn the eyebrows just a little bit. I'm gonna burn the cheek a little bit as well. Nice. Looking good. Let me come back into the dodge. Let me straighten out some of this stuff in here. Good. What's up, guys? What's up from Taiwan? What's up? Decided to come on early. I know a lot of my fans are from different countries, so I know it's 7 o'clock in the morning here in Texas. But I thought I'd come online for you guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a luminosity selection because I wanna bring out the hair. So I'm gonna go to luminosity 1. And that's gonna get a selection of just the hair strands. I'm gonna push select. Hey, you're welcome, Marquise. Appreciate that, bro. That's all I really wanted to do, man, with my YouTube channel. Is just teach and educate you guys. I have a behind the scenes video coming soon. Probably be out in a week or so. I'm gonna try to start editing it today. We'll see if I get to it. At least the editing part. It's gonna take a little bit of time to come out, but I'm super excited for that one. And then I have some fun content coming out later as well. So super stoked for that. So let's take a look at what I did there. So yep, I brought out the hair a little bit. This little part is a little bright, so I'm gonna go light 1. And I'm gonna go into the burn. I'm gonna select that, and I'm gonna kind of burn this because the light was camera left. It hit this little wall here. And I want to darken this up. go. Cool. You know what? I might even get the floor, but I'm going to use a radio filter for sure later to darken that up just a little bit more. But that looks good there. Okay. I'm going to deselect that. I'm going to use my eye way action here, and I'm going to zoom in. And I'm just going to brighten up these little eyes a little bit. Let me kind of zoom out here. There we go, just a little bit. We don't want to get too crazy here. I'm going to enhance some of the brightness that's already within the eye here. Cool. Let me see what else we got. How do you choose perfect color to edit a picture? That's a good question. I wouldn't say I have perfect colors. I screw up from time to time. But what I can say is you definitely have to develop your eye. You have to develop your eye to kind of know what looks good. I myself am not perfect. I mess up, like I just said. So you just kind of have to just not be afraid. Edit a photo. Take a look at it. It looks bad. It's okay. Come back the next day. Practice some more. Try something different. Come back. Practice some more. Make a mistake. Practice some more. Don't get discouraged if your edits are not coming out good. Just keep practicing. Can't emphasize that I screw up all the damn time, but it's okay. I have a mental note in my head. Don't make that same mistake again. Don't ever do that again. And don't be afraid to try new stuff. I've been trying a lot of new stuff lately. And sometimes it backfires on me. And then I look back at it, I'm like, damn, that looks stupid. But it's okay because it's a process. Okay. So I want to say my local dodge and burn and all that stuff is done. Yeah, it looks, I like it. It looks good for what I'm kind of going for here. So I'm going to kind of do that. And then I'm going to start stealing some of these colors because this photo and this one are pretty much the same. So I'm going to just take all the color grade that I already did over here, which is all of these layers. And I'm going to take it over. So I don't have to do the color grading again. So bam, that's already done. So I did the skin tone selective color. Then I did the selective color on the background. I did a color balance, 2 color balances, and then I did an RGB. And then now I'm going to use my contrast pop. And what this is going to do is it's going to help me add a little bit of contrast in areas that I want. Just like that. Shoot on white backdrops. That's an interesting idea. What do you think about retouching after 5 to 10 years? Will you still be using Photoshop for any mobile editing application? Just one click and finish everything. That's a good question. No, I see myself always using Photoshop, at least for the time being. Mobile app stuff, never really been into that. At least when it comes into like my high-end work. If I'm just taking pictures with my phone, you know, that's totally cool. But I don't see myself doing mobile editing anytime soon. Okay, so I added a preset from the last image, but I'm noticing it's a little too bright. So I'm going to kind of come back and tweak it. So I'm going to bring down this exposure. I don't think it needs to be that high up. That's the problem. We'll leave it right about there. It's fine. Just brought it down. It's looking good. So let's kind of take a look at the overall before and after. So before and then after. Kind of going in more in the purple tones. I don't know. Let me come back here. There are some areas that are a little bit too purple. But I think we'll leave it. It's fine. It won't be the end of the world. Okay, cool. I'm going to add this little gradient map. And then I did the red loom, which is this one. Which one would you use, Photoshop or Capture One? I would use both. There we go. I think this edit is pretty much done. I already kind of have everything the way I would more or less want it. So digging all of this. Has those purple tones. Everything's looking nice. So before and then after. So what do you guys think? I'm gonna put them all together. Let's do that. So I'm gonna grab. I don't know which image to go as my lead. I would say all these images are okay. I wouldn't say that there's one image that I took here that was like, oh my gosh, this is so epic. This was clearly like the lead image that I'm going to use on Instagram. So that's why I'm going to post it as a series, because I think that all the images are solid. Once again, nothing like epic. But I did want to post one from this photo shoot with Savannah. So I'm going to put all these images together. And we'll just kind of, you guys can help me decide on a photo. Oh, this one I think I already cropped. Okay. You just the same as you ever were. Okay, so what do you guys think? Which one from all of these, which one should be my lead image when I put it on Instagram? We got image 1, 2, and 3. I'm flattening the image so that I can kind of piece them all together here so that you guys can see and help me decide. That's the reason why I'm flattening it. I don't need all the layers when I'm dragging everything over. What preparation should I do as a photographer before you shoot? You should be planning your location, your wardrobe, your lenses. Where are you going to shoot, and how is this concept all going to come together? Left one. So we see number 1. We got number 2. Which one should be my lead image, guys, when I post it on Instagram in about 2 hours? So Adrian says 1. 1 is more dynamic in my opinion. Okay, so we got number 1. I agree. So far, everybody's kind of doing it. So 1 and 2. 2. Okay. So we got a lot of 2s. And I agree with you guys. The last one I was just editing wasn't like my strongest one, but I just wanted to put it on there. I was like, why not? What I will say is that the first one is a little bit different than what I typically do. I do a lot of sitting poses and stuff, and that's cute and all, but I think 1 has that kind of like, it's a little bit different when it comes to the pose. Oh man, you guys are making it difficult here. Everybody says, okay, everybody's going 2. So let me see, we got 1. We got more 2s than 1s. So the third one is clearly not going to be a lead. It'll still be in the series, but it's between these 2 for sure. Wow. One seems less busy. I agree with that. Well, I'll tell you this much. It seems like everybody's picking 1 and 2, which is totally fine. But it seems like everybody likes those. So I guess you can't go wrong with either of those. Yeah, I agree, Alex. 1 seems less busy. The only thing that I don't like about 1, and it's not my fault, let me see what you guys think, is that number 1, like because of the position that she was posed, we have some like awkward like rib shadows and stuff like that here. And I can't smooth these out because if I smooth them out, like the skin just isn't smooth like that. So what do you guys think? Does this bother you that these ribs are kind of popping like this? I mean, there's nothing I could have done except for the pose. The pose is what created these kind of like shadows where, you know, she's really stretching out. So these bones are popping. Hey, what's up, Seth? But it looks like everybody's saying 2. Yeah, everybody says 2. Okay. So this is what we'll do. We'll go with 2. Where is that? We'll go with 2. It'll be 2 and then 1, or it'll be 1, 2, and this will be my third one. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for helping me decide on the image. So yeah. See, I'm pretty much done. I'm trying to figure out if there's any other photos. I might come back live in a little bit, guys. I might, or you know what? I'm gonna stay live, actually. I'm gonna show you guys how I export for Instagram. Even though I have a video on it, but just in case you haven't seen it, I still get that question like a billion times. So I'm just gonna export. You know what? And I'll even do the BTS, how I set up the BTS for my post and stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can stay. If you don't care at all, then you can leave. That's totally fine. I don't blame you. So the first image is gonna be this one that I'm gonna export. So I'm gonna flatten this image. So I like making a duplicate copy so I don't mess with this TIFF, because this TIFF is the one that has all the layers, and I want to keep those layers because if I do like a editing tutorial, I want to remember what I did. Okay, so we have that. Then the next thing is to get the crop tool. I want to make sure I crop 4:5 for Instagram. So I'm gonna make sure that this line right here, this typical line right here, this is where our eyes are gonna kind of meet. And so I'm gonna do like a rule of thirds here. So it's kind of perfectly placed. If we wanna go into the face and we have the legs. So I think this crop right here looks good. So I'm gonna hit enter. I'm gonna duplicate the background. I'm gonna go to adjustments. I'm gonna go to desaturate. Then I'm gonna go to filter, other, high pass, 1 pixel, and change it to vivid light. Flatten it back up. Image size, we're gonna go 2048. I'm gonna make sure it's bicubic sharper reduction. Hit there, hit OK. Can I post a raw? If I decide to do, a tutorial on this, then I'll give you the raw. But if I don't, or I might put it in an FFA. By the way, I have an FFA going on in Instagram. You can get your raws. I know you guys love your raws. So I have an FFA going on. There's 2 of them. And I'm gonna have another FFA coming up. So anyways, I'm taking off transparency. I don't need that. Preserve details, export. And then I'm gonna go into the folder, Savannah. I'm gonna go on social media right here. And I'm gonna put this Savannah 1, web 1, perfect. And let's export the next one. So this one, I don't need anymore. I don't need this file anymore. And then number 2 was this one. So I'm gonna duplicate it, flatten image. And then we're gonna get to the BTS. People always ask me, how do I do the BTS labeling? I'll show you a quick trick that you can use with the library so you could save it so you can save some time. Oh, first thing I need to do before I start rescaling everything, I need to crop. So the crop, probably go up a little bit higher, put more emphasis on her. Perfect. We're gonna duplicate it, filter, other, high pass, 1 pixel, vivid light, flatten image. Oh wait, I messed up there. Forgot to make it black and white. I'm going all fast here. There we go. Vivid light, flatten image, image size, 2048, bam. And that one's done. We're gonna go to export. Take the transparency off, preserve details, export, convert to sRGB. Make sure we got that check mark. Hey, Lai, how are you? I have a question for you. Anyone who can help me with the USR? Do you get eye autofocus when using the viewfinder? Only when you use the back LCD? No, you should be able to get it in the viewfinder. I don't have the EOSR. I rented it, so I haven't used it in a while. So I don't know if anybody else here has that answer. Where can I buy Lumenzia? All you got to do is just search for it on Google. It's by Greg Benz. 2048, I don't know why, man. That's just what I've been using for Facebook and Instagram, and it seems to work perfectly fine for me. I know Instagram has their recommended, like, hey, use, I think it's 1080, I think. But I noticed that it never looks good when I do their recommended settings. As weird as that sounds, you would think that it would be like perfect, but it's also good, the 2048, because then I could put it on Facebook and I can put it on Instagram, and it'll look good on both. All right, so I'm almost done with this last one, and then we're gonna label the BTS. Vivid light. $2048. Boom. Export. Take that off. Preserve details. Do you have a dedicated video on how to use save for Instagram? Yeah, dude, I have a video dedicated with all this stuff that I'm basically saying already, man, for sure. It's already on my YouTube channel. Oh, I don't think I ever saved this file. Let me save this real quick, and then we'll get into the BTS. Hopefully I took a BTS. Sometimes I forget. I'm like, oh, man. Okay, so we go here. We're going to go Savannah, and then we save it. Perfect. Okay, that's done. Now let's get into Capture One. Let's find that BTS. Where is it? Here it is. BTS is right here. Perfect. So I'm just going to come into the BTS, and I will bring up the blacks a little bit. Bring up the shadows, bring the highlights down because the highlights were kind of bright here. Bring up the shadows. Brightness, we're gonna bring that down. So there we go. So that's pretty much done. I'm gonna go edit with and then Photoshop. And then we're gonna start labeling this for you guys when I post on Instagram. So the way I label it, my little trick is, whenever I have my layers for labeling, I just drag them into the libraries. So right here, I have a BTS XEF. I just drag this in. I got to make sure I hold Alt so the layers actually show up. And then bam, all the layers pop. So now I can just bring this in, make sure it's centered. Centered, bam. And then now I can just mess with this now. So now I'm just going to move this. Maybe move it up here. Let me just crop it before I do all this stuff. Perfect right there. Awesome. So I know for sure this one, I was using the Explore 400 Pro. I was using the 36-inch Westcott, and it was the M version. Okay. Then this one was, I don't even remember. It looks like oh no, it's Evolve. I never used the Speedline with this. Evolve 200. This was the 26-inch. Glow Easy Lock. Beauty Dish. Okay. And then I'm gonna look at my settings. 2.2. Where is 3.5? Oops. 35. 2.2 thousand. Okay. 2.2. I've never gone live before and showed you, like, me labeling stuff, so it feels so different. 2.2. 2.2 thousand. Okay. 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 2.2. 2.2 thous And there's a lot of you still watching. I'm surprised. I thought a lot of you guys would have left and be like, that's boring. I don't want to watch him label this stuff. Boring. But you guys stayed. 8:02 is the time I took it. So I'm going to come over here. This is all the work it takes to label stuff for you guys on Instagram. So I hope you guys appreciate all that content. So now I'm going to save this as a BTS TIFF just in case I need to refer back to it. So I'm going to come back here. Okay, and then now it's time to export. I'm going to export. I'm not going to sharpen or anything like that. It's just a BTS, so it's not like anything like super crazy. So we're going to go 2048. We're going to make sure that we do bicubic sharper this time on this one. And I'm going to export it. And then we're going to name it Savannah BTS and then full, because this is the full detailed BTS. Okay. Take that off. Export. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to go blank because this is the blank one. Because whenever, if I get featured, the companies or accounts always tell me, it's like, hey, can you do it blank? We don't want all the distracting stuff. So I usually will take that off. So now I got that. And I want to say that's pretty much it. I don't think I need to post anything else. I won't do like a color grade difference thing. I've been not doing it lately. So I have the pictures. And then I don't know if I did any video for this. I need to check. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Let me just take a look at some of the questions here, and then we'll end this. Awesome. Thank you. We'll look for it. Awesome. We love watching your videos. We love your art. Thank you so much. Love your work, Eli. I've learned a lot from your edits. Awesome, Eric. Super cool, man. Send me those edits on Instagram, dude, so I can take a look at them. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and log out. Maybe I'll come back live and do some other edits later today, so just stay tuned. Appreciate you guys always watching, coming in, asking questions and stuff like that. So y'all have a great day.